WayofFlowingTime here, bringing to you another episode of EEPower. Man, it has been a while. So, I'm making a macerator and I'm going to upgrade it to a rotary macerator. We have the blueprint here. We're going to need an advanced machine block, obviously, and we take the macerator that we have here, and by taking some refined iron commitments, we can go and get the remainder part of that right there. So rotary macerator, go! And there we go. We have some extra stuff, but that doesn't really matter. So what we're going to mainly do with this part is have a good access to coal dust and the like. Not really an automated form of it, but at least to the extent where we don't have to worry too much about the finer points in life. Now, I believe I want to fly like a real boy. Okay, so let's grab a few levers. 20 should be enough, and let's go up into the skies and activate this quite easily. Maybe I can power it directly? Why didn't I do that with the other ones? I honestly have no clue. And that was very stupid way. Very, very stupid. Jetpack off. And there we go. Now we're just going to need to get a bit of power, which honestly is an easy enough solution, and an export bus, which is a more difficult solution, seeing as I don't really have, well, the materials for it. But at least we have a good access for coal, charcoal, well, not coal, but the coal dust that is going to be required for making a lot of steel. A lot of steel for all other parts of the, well, happenings and happenstance and etc, etc, etc. We still need some more coal dust, so let's go just throw a bit into the rotary macerator and we should at least feel a bit more happy for ourselves. So this episode we're going to want to try to develop some sort of, I don't know, new method to power this matter fabricator with scrap. We need to get enough scrap at least to automate it. Yeah, automation. Automation is key. We need to scrapify it. Hopefully we get enough scrap to keep it constantly running at a lovely pace and maybe have enough scrap left over afterwards to have a few fun stuff. So, recyclers, recyclers, recyclers. Once we get all of this stuff going, we'll be able to get a nuclear reactor set up, and then we'll be able to power this up with our reactor destruction of... You're still breeding, aren't you? Dang, some people just shouldn't breed. Okay, so let's actually get started. We're going to need a few recyclers. Do I actually have any dirt in my current supply? I might not. I usually ditch dirt as soon as possible. Let's see. The dirt, I need the dirt on this, and apparently I am lacking in dirt, which is very odd for me, I must say. Speaking of which, how's our quarry doing? Let's see. Lots of water, yeah. This one's done. We're going to have to move it eventually, though I don't see too much reason to do that right now. And I suppose this one, I could remove the dirt taken out of it part, but that honestly isn't going to do... there is some dirt, so I can put dirt as something that we can get back. So let's remove dirt as one of the things that cannot go there. That should be enough. That should be enough. The rest of it will go in. This is probably a little too much energy. We can probably scale that down, though I don't really see much need to do so. So in the meantime, might as well collect a bit of dirt. Dang, I love this machine. Okay, so first of all, we're going to need to make the compressor, which is... Do we have any stone? Did I put any stone in the... Gosh dang it. Why did I not hook up anything for this? Now, what I could do, I don't really have the blaze rods to do this, but put an ender chest in the other world, and then just bring in a bunch of stuff, or rather have an ender pouch, that I can just put stuff into the ender pouch, it'll get sucked via the ender chest into the system, and then we won't have to continually ferry all of these materials to the... I wouldn't really say it's the surface, but I think you do get what I mean. Let's see. Stone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then finally we're going to need circuits. And how many of these? 3? Yeah, so 2 more. Ba 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 ba. Okay, so compressors first of all made. And finally, we're going to need to get the dirt on. And is it like this? Yes, I think it's like this with refined iron at the bottom, glowstone at the top. Ah, crud. We're going to need to get more glowstone. And then we have our refined iron. I think that would be good. That's odd. I don't remember you being there. Another rocky hive. I'm guessing this really does confirm the theory that stuff actually regens at... Sorry, stuff gens at World Gen. Or I could just be as blind as a bat. Yeah, that's probably the likelihood. Who knew? So we got enough glowstone to finally finish our construction and hopefully have enough afterwards so that it's not a complete blah fest because, you know, frankly, that's a little annoying. Now, the only problem is these do not automatically output. However, that is an easy enough thing. We can either do, well, 2 things. We can, actually, I'm thinking of it this way. You can have this automatically fed, or rather automatically outputted, and then have most of the output going here, and the resulting scrap gets collected and used for some other means. That'll be a good way to build up as much scrap as we, well, could possibly need, and then we should be set for life. Probably not life, but at least death. So what we're going to want to do for that is just pretty much bringing over one of these cables, at least until we need the next part of it. And let's bring it over here and over here. Okay, so there, one part will go here. We'll have the exporters here, and then we'll have the recyclers here. And I think we might as well power this thing. So we might as well bring over some of this energy. Probably a lot of it has dissipated at this point. Let's count the blocks, see how much energy has actually indeed dissipated. I suppose we could do some energy storage as a buffer, since we only need so much. Well, this is pretty much on-demand energy anyways, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 21. So we can safely bring this over. And the reason I was counting it was because after 40 blocks, it loses 1 EU per packet. At least this particular one does. So it's a bit of an annoyance. At least we got energy in the recyclers, and I don't think I'm going too far on my system, as in taxing it. And now that I think of it, I think we do have enough supplies to be able to continue and make more of these. That should be a lot. Well, expanding simple energy, anybody can do. If you're given enough space, you can expand any sort of energy system. It's not that fun, honestly. So, what we're going to do is something a little different by, well, not expanding it and going for bigger energy. Bigger is better in this case, at least. Well, I think so. And honestly, I find the fuel more of an on-demand because it's so efficient. Well, as efficient as it can get. Stop it. As efficient as it can possibly be when you're, you know, doing an internal combustion, blowing up bits of fuel every which way and trying to generate energy from the resulting force of the explosion. If only I could utilize that in Vex maps. Okay, so what was I doing? I have no clue. Yes, export buses. We're going to need a few more pistons. So, now we have a nice little, well, easier supply to get all the resin that we need, at least until we get all the bees that we, well, need. And I noticed that all of them seem to be facing one direction except this sorry sod at the top. Blah, there we go. and we'll be able to get all that going at a lovely pace. So now with an introduction of all this resin, we should be able to just simply input, well, it's not too much really. We can expand this farm a lot better, maybe use some frames to move all of them into one defined area and have that going. Bunny, get away. I didn't actually hit it. And then just have it as a bit better. So we got some resin. Now let's see. What did we need? We needed a few, three import buses. I still don't like how they're named. And then an export bus that should deliver all of the goods to our front door. Thankfully, we got a sticky piston here. What are you missing? For some reason, it deems it worthy to actually make it for once, and it must have made it by now. Okay, at least we got the import bus, rather the export bus. I always get them messed up somehow. And we should upgrade the crafting speed of this very soon. That should only take 4 more heat vents, 4 more sidings, and one of those internal structures. Not eternal, internal. Gosh. And where are they? Where are you? There you are. So now let's hook this up so that the recyclers will be able to feed them once we get them going. So one ba, and finally ba. And this one will need all of the scrap. All of it, I say. But we need to, well, create some scrap in the first place. So that's where, let's see, what can we recycle? Can we recycle that? That does work. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Takes 3 seconds approximately for the recycler to go. And finally, we did get some scrap. So let's go get that scrap and see where it has found itself. Okay, I think we only really need 1 scrap with us. So with the scrap, we'll want all of the scrap to go into here. And it doesn't really matter. Oh, fudge. That's not the correct entrance for it, so maybe that is. Let's see. Okay, that's not good. Okay, now let's try the scrap here, please. And see if it actually goes in. We need to have some scrap in the system, apparently. Okay, let's try that. Much better. We got the 2 scrap that we needed in there, and we should be a lot better. And now we just need 1 part, which is getting all these recyclers going. Now, we can get some overclockers. Let's see what the overclockers require. Overclocker upgrades to have these going at a much faster pace. In fact, we can probably go, I don't know, maybe 2 of them? 2 of them might be the best. And these are a simple matter of just creating them. Yeah, vacuum freezer, not really in my budget right now. Hate to say it, but too bad. Okay, so let's go, and we're going to need 1 more part. An igneous extruder. Sorry, 3 of them. The igneous extruder will give us all of the cobblestone that we need at a very cheap price, and we'll just shove them all down into the recyclers and add overclockers until it meets that 1.5 second rate that the igneous extruder gives. I think only 1 overclocker is needed to reach that amount. And both of these are full? Oh yeah, misc, and then we have more misc. So, we got our coolant cells. I suppose we're going to have to shove them into here, and we'll go with 9 of them. 9 should be enough for everything that we need, and also we might as well go and get our cans again, our cells, and get 3 water cells, and we're going to need to also grab 3 more tin cells because we still do have some lava out in the overworld, thankfully, via our pump that's still, well, not really operative over here. That's not correct, but let's just get a few cells so we'll be able to fill up our igneous extruders, since it's kind of an important necessity to be able to manage when feeding all the recyclers. So over here, yes, over here. So let's get our coolant cells, and then finally with them we'll be able to make our overclocker upgrades. We'll need some copper cables, so copper cables. We'll need 6 of them. Here we go. And they'll go here. We need circuits. 3 of these. Man, I love this thing. Okay, there. And then we need to get our final coolant cells. Isn't that cool? I'd say a witty remark right now, but there's no... Oh, you used them. That sucks. Copper cables. As if it used them. As if it used them. Just my luck. Oh, well, let's throw those back in and then add these to the recyclers. Or rather, first add our igneous extruders. We might as well have that part going on. So, igneous 1, igneous 2, igneous 3 has landed. And they're all set to the proper configuration. The rest don't really matter. Might as well keep them there just for consistency. So, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. They'll be going, feeding the recyclers. And now we'll put the recycler with an overclocker. It'll require a bit more energy. However, it seems to be matching it when it's like that. In fact, it might be slightly faster. Now, the overclocker upgrade, as you can tell, it makes it go faster. However, it requires more energy for that. I think it doubles the speed, but maybe quadruples the energy. Or at least it goes by that ratio. So this will be able to be constantly fed all the scrap that it will need. Assuming this is enough though. There will probably be many, many, many more than this in the near future. Now speaking about energy, we might as well see how much we are currently using in our AE system. Here we go. 45 units, that is 24 EU per tick approximately. And that means that it's 2 of those systems are, 2 of the diesel generators are just dedicated to making sure everything is working in that operation. Well, these diesel generators can move at least, so we'll be able to move these up to a better location. That will be good. So where can we put these? That'll be an easy enough thing to do. Just place them, and then the system will fill itself, which I love about this system. Okay, so here and here, and we should get fuel. There we go, fuel and fuel. They are feeding the system with a bit more energy. Now we still need some more for the thermal expansion machinery. I suppose we could change that to one of these things over here. I don't think that's really necessary. Now, this part may be fixed in future iterations of the mod pack. Hey, it may even be already fixed, but apparently there seems to be some glitch in making the batteries. I believe I did have an issue with it when trying to make the Laptron crystal, but anyways, there seems to be some issue that cannot be easily resolved that causes it to be, well, nigh impossible to make a battery in this crafting terminal. I'm not too sure what the cause of that is, but it's not like it matters too much. So let's set up our final nuclear reactor. We're just going to get some chambers over here, not the Chamber of Commerce, thank God. And then we'll be able to set this up in a nice little niche. Now, where shall we set this up? Probably right over here. Yeah, right over here, maybe here. And it's going to need enough of those things to get going. And then we'll need to get another gate, obviously. And then once we set this up and put all the chambers in, we should be good to go for a lot of really, really sustainable power. I mean, so sustainable, it's not even funny. Well, it is kind of funny. It is, but, you know, I'm kind of getting off base, aren't I? I'm just getting far out in left field. It's crazy. It's crazy, I say. Hey, oh my God, I do not want that song stuck in my head. It's worse than a knife stuck in my head. So I'm just going to set this up for the generator. Not going to flick it on. Maybe I can put I'm going to put a terminal right here so that I'll be able to get everything that I need. Why don't I do that for every single floor? Yeah, I should do that. One there, one there. I think that'll be good. Now, I probably noted this before. Have you ever noticed how difficult it is to make a router when you don't have a chicken farm? I mean, come on, it's not like eggs randomly appear in front of. Sorry, why didn't I use this project table before while I was making the routers? 6 eggs here. I could have been done this a long time ago. You are a moron. Oh well, now that we managed to say what we've done before, let's go get all these routers set up with our lovely little nuclear reactor. First of all, nuclear reactors and you. First of all, let's put our power thing onto here so we can initiate the chamber sequence, and we'll probably have it. Yeah, that's very helpful. Let's see. When the inventory is full for now. Now the problem with this is the design. We are going to obviously need a few crucial ingredients. Now the problem with this is that there's space in the design for other parts. Now that is a bit of a problem. Bit of a problem indeed. So how we can probably solve that is by, wait a second. One part I'm wondering is if plutonium or thorium actually gives the spent uranium that this thing takes out, the re-enriched uranium cells. I'm not too sure about that. Just in case, I think I'll put this on so that it will extract a particular item, which is this re-enriched uranium cell. No, not the re-enriched oh, crack! Well, that was a smart way. Note to self, being an idiot isn't really endearing. I believe it is a near depleted uranium cell that it actually gives out, so in preparation for that, I think we'll put that as something that it'll continuously attempt to pull out. That being said, it probably won't do that anyways, but oh well. So we're going to need a few things, as well as some cables. First of all, let's get our router wall on here. We're going to need a few slots that we'll need to pull from. So let's get this router wall working. Haha! Okay, so beforehand we'll just have to set this all so that it's not extract but insert, and we have to send it so that it's in the particular slots that we want. This is going to be fun counting. Okay, let's get our export modules and finally set this up so that we can get this nuclear reactor going with a bit of power. Now, obviously, we're going to need a bit of energy line to go to this. Thank God it's not active yet, but the output will put from here and going out into not there. That would make blow up. I do not want blow up. Not even a doll, because that's disturbing. Okay, so if we bring it snake around like here, we can get it directly into the matter fabricator. Or we could be smart and bring it down here and plug it directly in via a more direct route. That might actually be smart for once. Okay, so there. Okay, so now all we have to do is, well, set the thorium up. Well, not all of it, but let's see, thorium. So we need to create one of these, first of all, so that we'll get the pattern correct. And if we insert it, well, this is one of them that we need it inserted into. And we have to set it so that it's move single items and craft. So that we'll be able to craft the thorium that's going to be needed. That's one piece. 2 piece. And let's at least prime these so that they're ready for when we get the next parts. Let's see, do we have this all ready? Okay, that's good. Need one more here. So one here, which is the plutonium. Then it's go blank go. So one into here. One into here. And then one into here. There we go. And that is all the thorium that we need. and there will fill these up eventually once all the items are sufficient. Now we get the plutonium, which is an easy enough thing to do. All we have to do is, well, it's not really craft. We can't craft it. So if we set this to move single items, since it's a non-craftable recipe, it won't clog up the "I'm trying to create this but I have no bloody clue how to do it" thing. Okay, there we go. This is our reactor, and it's going to output quite a bit. Let's get our ME cables first. Let's go for 20 cables so that we'll be able to attach the remainder of this device. There we go. 20 cables set. And then we'll want to probably get this out of the way. And see. Okay. Here. Ah, bud. Bollocks. Bollocks, I sound like a Brit. And I am not trying to say the Brits are odd for liking stuff about bulls. But anyways, I digress. So the final thing is to prime this so that we'll be able to get all of that. And actually, we need to import the stuff from here into here. So let's get that, and let's use a nuclear reactor planner to see what we can put into here and make sure that it's not going to blow up. So there was a slight error in it. Thankfully, I managed to catch it. This thing was over here, which frankly, you may not know this, but it's a bit scary. So finally, once we put these containment reactor platings, if it were to blow up, we'd be able to at least contain it. Let's go. This is kind of a just-in-case measure. Bah! Oh, good, it's stacked. Bah! Go! It's on. It's on. It's producing energy by the matter fabricator, it being on. And it seems like it's stable. As stable as it can be, at least. Now, how much is it actually producing, I wonder? Did I get my import bus? No, I did not. Let's put our armor back on, because if it were going to explode, it probably would have by now. Let's see. Import bus, please. Thank you. Just need to import the resultant from here, and then we'll be good. We'll be good. Okay, it's already at 1%. It's not the fastest, honestly. But with Greg Tech, you're not going to get fast, necessarily. At least we'll have a bunch of leftover thorium, because it's supposed to be a 10-to-1 ratio. You need more thorium than plutonium, and with how this is, 1, 2, 3, 4, actually it's 20-to-2. That's good. So this will use as much plutonium as it does thorium in the sense of this breeder. So this breeder will continually create all that we need for this at an even amount, and ideally we'd be able to put another reactor right here, just put some sort of bridge to connect the two with these reactor things, and then we'd be able to, well, we'd be able to have the reactors both feeding off the same routers, thus we wouldn't need as much energy management. Now, ideally, we'd be able to access this nuclear reactor energy at any given time for any given device. That we are going to need to set up at a later date once we get all the other finicky stuff, such as actually finishing this. Gosh dang it, might as well put that in. Now, I know we could have, since it's an eternal bright world, might as well get this out of the way. I know I could have made a solar panel, but frankly, I don't like solar panels quite the way that I like building a complicated, expensive system that I feel that it takes a bit of thought to actually get working. Solar panels, not dissing anybody who actually uses them, but solar panels are not my cup of tea, and I prefer to have my tea nice and green and herbal-like. I don't actually like tea, it's just a metaphor if you didn't pick that up. So this should be enough scrap to feed the matter fabricator. I doubt the matter fabricator is going to go much faster without adding more nuclear reactors, and frankly, if you may have noticed, I am out of copper. So what we can probably do is set up a way to make some more copper. Let's see, is there actually a way to set up some copper? Okay, is there a recipe for copper? 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 Yes, there is. We can use an industrial centrifuge and 750 seconds with lava to get copper, or 500 seconds for one of those refractory wax cells, but that's less tin. Or we can use tin cells, or we can just use pure lava for 500 seconds. So 500 seconds with an industrial centrifuge will give 4. And that's about it. And I guess I can get electrum as well while I'm doing that, as well as tungsten. Approximately slightly less than 9 minutes for 4 copper. I don't know if it's worth the hassle, but if it gets me closer to this, I'll be happy. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of EEPower. If you like what you see, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to future episodes. WayofTime here, signing off. Have a wonderful day.